Well, the plan here is actually very conventional, that I'm competing to achieve these goals with my colleagues, okay, which is at this point getting into a decent PhD program, having to travel throughout this process, researching these schools, okay. So my biggest issue was, okay, economies of time. If I work, right, I'm putting in 40 hours a week at a particular job, and while I'm doing that, I'm taking away focus from this particular side of my life, which is education, which is growing in that environment, okay? So by focusing entirely on school, what I'm able to do is, rather than work that 40 hours a week to pay the rent, okay, to pay the bills just to store my body, it's a waste in my mind. That money could be used or reallocated for other things. So there's economies of time and then reallocation of the funds. Rather than live this conventional life where you are working to pay off these either status-driven things or in my mind, a false sense of security with an apartment or whatever it may be, drop it, right? Just do what you have to do and gear everything toward it. You need the goal first, and then you create efficiencies as they apply to that goal. My name is Anthony Bozzo. I'm a student here at IUPUI. My majors are anthropology, geography, and philosophy. At least my undergraduate majors, where I am now studying GIS, Geographic Information Science, as a master's student. People like to think of me living in the van. I sleep in the van, right? I live in the world. So it's just a sleeping space. It's just a nice, cozy little place of privacy where I can, take myself away and rejuvenate. Okay, so if I had to work and do all this stuff and spend the money on rent and utilities and this and that and this and that, then this opportunity of higher education and teaching and that life would no longer be accessible. So how much choice do you actually have when you're living the life that you are? How many doors are being shut? By having access to a particular amount of funds, whether it be grants or scholarships or whatever it may be, okay, you can utilize that, but if you have to pay that money out on rent, then all that money goes out the door. It's just this revolving cycle of make it, spend it, make it, spend it. And it's soul deadening. At some point, I lost the meaning of the whole thing. There are rules here. There's more rules here than there are in other places. It's just that you're making your own. And that's fascinating to me. That's absolutely fascinating to me. So I get up in the morning, I go to the gym, ideally, okay? I work out, I take a shower, I hit campus, or at least the building where I work. So right there, I have my sleeping quarters, okay, my bed. I have my gym and my showering quarters, okay? Your shower, whatever, your workout room, and work, all within a small environment, so it's localized, okay? I have my mail going to a friend's house, okay? So my primary address is actually there. On paper, I'm not homeless, okay? And that's where this gets a little touchy, and I have to be careful, right? If I didn't have a primary address, I wouldn't be able to get funding for school. I wouldn't be able to get any of these things. And it's tough. You can't get a P.O. box without a primary address. You need other people to do this. This is not an independent venture by any means. Now, I'm not mooching per se, okay? But I am utilizing like that, It's not mine. I miss cooking, yes. I cooked all the time. In fact, the part of life that I miss most is like that domestic time, right? That Sunday doing laundry, cooking, there's a pot of sauce on the stove, that kind of feel is gone. I can get it at other people's homes, that kind of thing, but it's not yours. And what I've done is I've constructed a dry food diet. So I have oatmeal, nuts, seeds, berries, that kind of stuff, and protein powder that will get me by with the spinach salads over here at school. So my diet has improved tremendously from what it was before. through this process, I've picked up jobs along the way within the academic environment, okay? So by building these relationships and talking to these people and making friends and all this stuff, opportunities end up coming your way because they see that you have a need, right, for a job, okay? You're here all the time, so they present these to you, okay? So the longer that you spend in an environment, the more not only do you get to know about the place you are, but the more the place you are gets to know about you.
Do you see yourself living a normal lifestyle? Well,
this has taken a lot of time and energy and the proper kind of relationships, people, the right kind of people, right? There's a certain amount of I mean, you can plan for things, but there's a certain, I don't want to say luck necessarily, but it's almost like, this has been very serendipitous. Like, people have come into my life that I would not expect. So this is when you jump outside the box, things change. It's not quite as rational and linear, right? So the randomness of this, I don't know if that can be the positive randomness of the situation. I don't know if that can be replicated in another environment. Right? I do want kids, and I do want a family, and I do want these things that are in a conventional life, right? So this isn't about saying that's wrong, okay? This is about saying, look, there's another way to get there. We share a goal, right? But there's another way.